Thank you again for joining the Oregon Employment Department for the media briefing. I am Angela Yeager, Communications Officer for Paid Leave Oregon. Today's speaker is Paid Leave Oregon Director Karen Madden Hummelbaugh. Oregon Employment Department Director David Gerstenfeld is also on hand to answer some questions. Just a couple of quick notes. This call is being recorded, and we will post the recording online and send out the link after the briefing. We will take questions after opening remarks from Karen. If you have any technical difficulties or you're unable to ask your question for some reason, please send an email to communications@employ.oregon.gov and we'll assist you. I will now turn it over to Paid Leave Oregon Director Karen Madden Hummelbaugh. Please go ahead, Karen.
Thanks, Angela, and hello, everyone. I'm pleased to share initial information and data from our very first week of applications for Paid Leave Oregon. The Employee Paid Leave Benefits portal in Francis Online launched successfully on August 14th. And today we launched our data dashboard on the OED website. That data dashboard has paid leave data along with data from unemployment insurance and WorkSource Oregon. The new dashboard includes the number of applications received, approved, and pending. It will also show the benefits paid beginning in September, and it will also show average call wait times and call volume for the previous week. Here's some initial data from our first week of applications, which is August 9th through the 13th. We received 4,631 applications. And we have approved 2 thus far, which might seem small, but it's due to ramping up of processing, ID verification behind the scenes, and thoroughly making sure we've trained our staff with real and complex claims versus the classroom training they received prior to go live. For the first week, we focused on kind of slowing down and making sure we're getting things correct and having the best customer experience. Our average call wait time is 7 seconds. And we had 2,445 calls during our first week. For our paid leave website, we looked at language access data for website users from the first week as well. We had 44,430 users on our English site, 3,488 on our Spanish site, and 213 on the Russian site. The other 5 languages our website is available in showed traffic of 27 to 200 visitors. We are seeing many customers creating Francis Online accounts, but they are not all completing claims. So we want to make sure that the public knows it's a 2-step process. They need to create an employee account in Francis Online, and then they must also submit a claim and upload all of the supporting documents that are needed for their claim. They can do this during one visit, or they can do it at different times. There is a detailed how to apply for benefits video and a checklist. They're both available on the employee toolkit on our website at paidleave.oregon.gov. We are receiving many questions about concurrency with Paid Leave Oregon and BOLI's OFLA, which is the Oregon Family Leave Act. And we did work with BOLI and created a fact sheet, and it's now posted on our website to explain how and when the 2 programs run concurrently. We also want employers to know that we're here to help them. Employers with employees who have submitted claims will start receiving letters asking them to verify that their employee has given their 30-day notice. This letter asks them to verify this in Francis Online so their employee's claim can be processed quickly. Some of the other questions we're hearing include, how long does it take for ID verification? And ID verification generally takes up to 2 days. People are still asking the questions about like what life events are covered, and life events that are covered by Paid Leave Oregon fall into those 3 categories: family, medical, and safe leave. And our employee guidebook does detail which life events may qualify for each life leave type. We're also getting a lot of questions about what documents folks need to apply. Documents that are needed, they really vary depending on what type of leave you're applying for. So we'd encourage folks to review our what do you need to apply for benefits checklist, and they'll have the details there. People are also asking if both parents can take bonding leave and can they take it at the same time? And the answer to that is yes. Bonding leave is for any parent to care for and bond with a child during their first year after birth, adoption, or after their foster care placement. So both parents can apply to take leave, and they can apply to take it at the same time. If employees have questions on the application process, they can check out our website for helpful materials and videos. But we're also available to help through our website, contact us form at paidleave.oregon.gov, or folks can email us at paidleave@oregon.gov. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Angela, for the question and answer portion of the briefing.
Thanks, Karen. Okay, I'm going to open the lines to members of the media to ask questions. Please remember to state to whom you are directing your question, and try to limit yourself to one question and one follow-up question. If you're joining by phone, make sure to hit *6 to unmute yourself. And if for some reason you don't get your question answered today, please email us at communications@employ.oregon.gov. Okay, so we will look and see if anyone has any questions. I'm looking for hands raised. And I think Mike Rogaway from the Oregonian. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, good afternoon. I've got a couple quick questions for David that are sort of tangentially related. The first question is, I see, over the last several months, there's been a fall off in call response times. I'm wondering how challenging it is to launch a new program, which will have some customer service components to it, customer service demands. At the same time, you're dealing with a fall off in response times on the incumbent program, the legacy program.
It is challenging, Mike, and it's something that we've balanced carefully. Karen and her team have stood up their own independent customer service system. They're doing, I think you heard from the wait times that Karen reported on, that they're being incredibly responsive. Fortunately, we don't have to rely on federal funding for the administrative costs of the Paid Leave Oregon program like we do for unemployment insurance. And unfortunately, as that funding continues to be inadequate and to decline, that gets reflected in some of the customer service levels. It's something that we're working hard to combat. Some of the tools that the unemployment insurance program implemented kind of as we worked through the pandemic are tools that Karen's team is using now that's helping them be so responsive. But we're watching it very closely. We want to make sure that the new program retains the really good customer service levels that we've seen so far. And we're doing everything that we can to get back to the really high customer service levels that we had in unemployment insurance. I think that's going to frankly be a challenge given the federal funding though. But we did try to make sure that we're not, for instance, taking away people from answering unemployment insurance questions to deal with the paid leave program. So we really tried to let those unemployment experts continue to focus on the UI program.
Good, David, thanks. And one quick follow-up then. I take it that what you're saying is these two programs exist on parallel tracks, and one has its own funding source from Paid Leave Oregon, and one is dependent on inadequate federal funding. On the legacy program, basic UI insurance, what happens if unemployment rates spike again? Are we back to 2020 scale delays? And would the new computer system next year help alleviate that at all?
So we definitely will not be back in the same situation that we were before. I mentioned some of the new tools that we've implemented, which really do let us adjust much more quickly. If we were to see a big sudden increase in claims, typically additional federal funding comes along with that. So if we start to enter into a recession, I think that we'll be able to handle the recession pretty well. Certainly a typical or even what used to be considered a big recession. We're well prepared to scale up quickly as soon as the additional federal funding is even indicated that it will be on the way. If we were to see a major overnight shutdown of most of the state's economy, it would still be very painful for everyone. I will say that when the new computer system rolls out in March for unemployment insurance benefits, we do expect some bumps when it first rolls out, but I'm actually really optimistic based on the customer service levels that we're seeing with Paid Leave Oregon. It's using the same technology and approaches and platform. And what we're seeing is much more data for Karen and her team to adjust quickly to where people are having challenges, but it is much more user-friendly. A lot of the things that we know people need in unemployment insurance about getting information about the claims, they can see themselves in the new system. So I think that that will greatly help it be a much more user-friendly experience when that system goes live.
Great. Thank you, David.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mike. Any other questions for Karen or David? Give it a few seconds here, because folks are thinking of some great questions. Okay. Well, again, that media dashboard that we mentioned will be updated weekly on Wednesdays, and it's on the news section of our website, and it contains, as Karen mentioned, information for unemployment, WorkSource, and now Paid Leave Oregon data on that dashboard. So thank you very much, everyone. And as a reminder, this call was recorded. We'll send out a link to those of you who RSVP'd. We'll also post it on the media page. And thank you for once again for participating today and for your partnership to keep Oregonians informed. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.